everybody, and welcome to a little bit after show. Dunk got really confused about YouTube accounts. I had a situation pre-show to the live recording of the 42 show where one of my Chrome browsers, an open source version, Chrome Canary, wouldn't even open YouTube, let alone let me get to YouTube Studio. So I had a panic as well. It's just not a good day for YouTube's back end, is it? Sorry to be a proctologist, but you know.
Yeah, open wide. Yeah. Welcome to Tech Watch with Dick and Dunk. Shit gets to the point.
Let's before we get going, let's give a shout out here to the Carpathian there in the chat. He's jumped in to join the team on the Shills, helping with some AI stuff. We're doing images right now. You saw some of them during the 42 show. There'll be some little video clips and, you know, the odd stinger tune as well and whatnot. And yeah, so big round of applause because it's going to add an extra little comedy factor to PJ CNET's already amazing news team. It's going to be great.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, PJ's sent me a link that might fix it. And it sends me to a YouTube video. Oh, hang on a minute. What? That's not a YouTube video.
He's fishing you. He's trying to figure out who you really are.
Click this link, youtube.com account advanced. Tick this. Shall I just shut up now? You carry on. I'll read this. Tick the box that says default channel.
Dunk's got this thing going on where he switches 3 different accounts, but only 2 will show up in the live chat. The third one shows up as the second one. Now, when you were doing that, Dunk, did you have like YouTube chat popped open in a different window? Because YouTube gets very confused if you have more than one window open when you're trying to change your account.
I think PJ might have sold it. You got to set your default channel. Yeah, because I set up a new one. It probably set the new one up as a default channel. Yeah. Okay. Let's. I'm going to jump out and switch account. I'm going to switch account to.
He's going to jump down, turn around, pick another YouTube.
So I'm going to say hello. This is DKG account. Yes, up to that. Yeah, that's a good channel. And I'm going to switch account to. And I say, yay, PJ. You're a fucking genius.
That's funny. You see how important our team is around here? All Dunk has to do is whine like a little schoolgirl, and PJ fixes his problems for him.
Oh, PJ, while you're on the problem, I got a little bit of a wart on my penis. And can you find me a YouTube link?
If I remember correctly, PJ is very adverse to things with magnification, so I don't think he can help you there.
It's all right. I'll draw it on a biscuit.
That's about what it was. Let me find that. Let me find that.
I'll send you a little cookie.
That's supposed to be cock and balls, but it really just looks like Eddie Torres, the extra testicle. You know, anybody know Cheech and Chong, right? I mean, that's just 3 balls, isn't it?
Actually, it looks like a fidget spinner. But I will say,
if my shit only stuck out that far from my nutsack, I wouldn't be putting it on display. I tell you that.
Yeah.
No wonder where model is this guy. Right, you know,
I have to wear the woman holding my penis there. She did have massive hands. Yeah. Kind of woman that could hold Sasquatch's head with one hand, right? You know. Actually, I know that's not my penis because it's smiling.
It's been shaved. I mean, it's just...
it's been scared. Scared senseless.
Yeah. That's like if Don Bluth drew a penis in The Land Before Time. That's what you would get, right?
Oh dear. The thing is, I'm pretty sure you can get biscuits in that kind of like, three circular shape. And this is the fact that all they've done is just turn into cock and balls by drawing a little face on it.
Exactly. Oh, it's crazy. Every day. I talked recently on an after show, I think it was, because it was another 42 show, that I got my prescription. I've got a couple of pair of glasses coming. And like right now, I can barely see the concurrent viewers on YouTube Studio. And if I enlarge the window anymore so I can read it clearer, then I have to scroll just to see some of the information. And no YouTube creator has to do that because they don't enlarge it that far. So any day now, I'm going to be able to read instead of just guess. And it's going to really help. I can't wait. I get in shit all the time because I can't pronounce words or something, right? Part of it is that I can barely read what I'm trying to read. Well, spelling is terrible for me, right? My father was a prairie boy and my mother was a maritimer. So they each have this little sort of drawl or slang tone to the way they spoke. So I was told as a kid, just spell it how it sounds. But I pronounce half of these words the way my parents did. And if I spell it how it sounds, it comes out wrong, right? It's been a nightmare for me all my life. I can only imagine if you said that to somebody from Alabama who was in Seattle going to school. Well, just spell it out how it sounds,
Yeah. Try that in Wales. See how long you last.
Exactly. That's where you get all the X's and Z's.
Right? Yeah. You'll break a tooth.
But yeah, it's always been a nightmare for me. What are you going to do? Plus, I think I just, slang and drawl a little myself as well, which isn't helpful. Somebody in the comment section recently said to me, "Hey, Dick, it's aluminum, not aluminum." But I was pretty sure they were a UK resident, meaning aluminium.
Aluminium, right? Yeah.
And I'm a car person. I watch so much British and European car content. I know aluminium versus aluminum, right? But, as much as we both put the U in color when we spell it, we say aluminum.
Well, not your fault.
Well, if you go by population, it's not your fault, actually.
What, without the U?
No. Yeah, double O, right?
Your. Just 2 R's at the end of it.
Yeah. So what's going on in the UK now? I did have a thing here. I wanted to bring this up, but I didn't get to it because, when we're on the show, sometimes you got to trim these articles down a bit. If we say as much as we wanted to during these articles, we would never get to it all. We're trying to trim them down a little bit more so we can get a few more stories in. But there's always we try to keep our little blurb on each story to like a minute and a half so that we can have some back and forth time about the story, because in our opinion, that's half the reason you guys are here, is to hear our opinion on it, not just the story itself. And we can't do it, but we don't want the show to be any damn longer. It's just so difficult,
I was so glad to get my last gag in with that story with the attorney about the salad bar. I had to write that one in when I saw the Californian bar.
When I saw that guy's face, I was like, wait a minute, am I supposed to do this so I could see him properly? What the hell's going on?
It really does look like you've been squished into a Perspex box.
Yeah, look, see? Somebody cubed his head, man.
It's a very unflattering picture. There is a picture on his website, which is a lot more, should we say normal?
Yeah. Well, if he had eyebrows that like reached up to here, like the doctor from Cannonball Run, if you know the reference, his head would look upside down. You wouldn't be able to tell.
Oh dear.
No
Poor
offense
guy.
to fat people, because I'm, joining the ranks year by year, and I will be soon. But that cat's funny looking, man. I'm sorry.
I don't think you'll ever be fat, but you'll definitely get pear shaped.
Well, I got that whole walking bowling pin about to happen, right? Where like a bowling pin with legs. That's if I don't start, giving a rat's ass, and that's not,
I mean, the funny thing is, the guy in that story is a big bloke. He is not doing himself any favors by being the guy who smacks another guy with a head because
at a buffet.
At a buffet. He is, as the story goes, and you're the large guy. You're not doing yourself any favors.
Not at all.
Sorry.
Not at all.
Like, they're always having a go at the fat guy at the buffet. Yeah, because he's smacking people over the head with plates.
Can you imagine? Like, you only left me 12 shrimp, and he just beats somebody down. Meanwhile, the person in question was wearing like a Girl Guides outfit,
Oh dear, what a story. Such a stupid story, but it was great.
I love recording the 42 show live the way we do it. We could do it as, each one of us scripts our little thing and we use a quick B-roll picture to hide the edits and do it as an uploaded video. And we like it as an uploaded video because YouTube usually takes to videos more than live. That's the idea. But I like doing these shows a little bit more because I don't have to use this vape thing. I can actually like roll a joint and have a cigarette and stuff.
Yeah, and I can do what the hell I like. La, 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 la,
Yeah.
la, la, la.
That little cane he's got has been up his rectum and up a nostril since we started this show already, right?
I'm actually doing this in the local glory hole at the minute.
You are the local glory.
Yeah, more hole, less glory.
Well, they don't know because they're on the wrong side of the barn door, but
oh dear. You bastard.
Yeah. So lately I've been doing a thing where I'm cutting down the alcohol content a little bit, right? I mean, I'm not proving it right now. That's for sure.
On the channel.
Yeah. Well, all around, right? And
okay.
So last night, my son wasn't home. And when my son's not home, because he's usually only gone like one night a week, 2 nights a week, right? So he wasn't home, but I didn't want to have drinks because I wanted to wake up today, get some bookings done for the channel, get my intro prepped and all that stuff and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. And you got a ballet recital at 12.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. You should see me in a tutu. They hang out like right to the knees, But so last night I'm like, well, I don't really know what to do with myself. I don't feel like doing housework and whatnot. I just want to sit and chill. So I bring up a movie. No, that sucks. I bring up another movie. No, that sucks. I bring up a TV show. No, that sucks. And I think to myself, am I so old and cynical right now that unless I'm half liquored up, I fucking hate pretty much everything?
Yeah.
Pretty
much.
Yeah. I didn't know what to do.
I think it's just been grown into you over the years. You've been abraded by life and just so hateful and spiteful to everything. No, but the problem is, unfortunately, a lot of stuff out there does actually suck. So I don't think it's just your problem. How was the rubber key? What do you call it? Documentary about the Spectrum.
Oh my God. Yeah, the rubber keyed wonder.
Once you got past the NAF intro music.
Oh my God. So there's a new documentary out called The Rubber Keyed Wonder. It's in our Plex server. If you have access, Carpathian, I'll get you hooked up. And it's all about the ZX Spectrum. And it starts in the early days of Clive Sinclair with radionics and goes through. And So in the beginning of the film, they have a couple of interview clips, and then they show a couple of pictures, and they even have the Getty Images watermark on them, right? And then this song starts, and out of key would be a nice way to put it. Crappy would be I'm trying to not be offensive, but it was fucking horrible. And then as the credits are rolling, the guy who writes and produces and directs the thing is the guy who does the music.
Yeah.
It's so bad. So then the song finally stops, and there's actually like real interview segments with Chris Curry and a bunch of the real players. And I'm like, okay, this is good. So I keep watching it, and then some other watermark content comes up, and then some porn groove thing comes up when the guy's like showing how you would assemble the precursor to the ZX81, the little single board computer with the calculator display. I can't remember what it's called. Yeah. And it was at that point I was like, oh God, I got to skip ahead a little bit. So I kept watching, and there was a few interviews that were good, and then I had to skip ahead. And it's a good documentary. It's got a lot of good content, but the music is literally it's like it was done by Ron Jeremy. You know, it's so bad. It was awful.
Do you feel like all that stuff, all those interviews that are on there, aren't already on YouTube in other people's channels? I mean, if you look at the Spectrum documentary on YouTube, I get a shit ton.
I know. I wouldn't doubt that this are all stolen clips, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wouldn't doubt it. I'm not saying it is, because I don't know for sure, but considering the bootstrap approach to one person being a third of the credits, it doesn't bode well. Right?
No, it doesn't, does it?
Yeah. But it wasn't bad. You know, if you guys want, I'll make an edit of it so that it's tolerable and get rid of the crap.
You just upload it to the Shills channel.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do my get to the point channel to do a shortened version.
Yeah. The story of the Spectrum. It finally had a color and a clash and some really shitty keys.
Yeah. And it was all right.
It was pretty good. A lot of people that are important in the scene got their start on that computer. It kind of sucks, but it's kind of good, you know?
Yeah. I loved mine. Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah,
with my black and white telly. I didn't even have any color on it.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
it was great. It was great programming it. Especially making games and stuff, and you putting the colors in. It's like imagining what it might look like on a color TV.
Yeah, well, that was every computer at that point, right? Even like a Commodore VIC-20 and stuff, you you would get vertical scrolling and horizontal scrolling that was like chunk, chunk, chunk and stuff, unless the programmer was good. And oh yeah, right. And one thing you got to say, as it pertains to the war of Commodore, Sinclair Spectrum and whatnot, those kind of things. The Sinclair had the Z80, which was clocked way faster than the 6502. The 6502 arguably can do more instructions per clock, but the Z80 computers like the Spectrum had more of the wireframe simulator games because it just had the clock speed to pull it off, right? It was a damn good system, even though it sucked, right? I mean, it's a strange beast,
Still very popular today. Yeah, still very popular, especially with the what would you call them? The retro new market. What do you call them? It's like the
retro
new
models.
But I mean like new models, new versions of it. But
there's been a few.
What do you call that?
Reissues.
Retro reissues.
Yeah.
Bit like my clothes.
They're not reissues. You just haven't bought new ones.
Yes, I have. Yeah. From the charity shop.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Then they're reissues. Yeah.
There's still loads of room in these flares.
But I watch more retro YouTube content about Sinclairs and Amstrad 464s and Acorn Electrons. And then when they went into the Archimedes range with the birth of ARM and whatnot, I watch way more of that than I do the ones that I grew up with because I grew up with them. I don't need somebody to tell me about the history of Commodore because I fucking lived it, you know?
Yeah, I used to watch a lot of these retro stuff, but I just feel like there's only so much stuff you can do. I've had my fill. So what I'll do is I'll wait to one day when I've forgotten everything that they taught me, and then I can watch them again.
Yeah. PJ CNET in the chat says, yeah, but the C64 had the custom hardware. The C64 was the 8-bit computer that caught up to the Ataris and surpassed them. The Ataris were better than them all when they were first released, in 77, 78. But
you know what? You should let me go and get PJ come in there. He knows more about this shit than anybody.
Yeah. But the C64 was the cream of the crop when it came to that stuff, for sure. The legendary SID chip. Oh, my God, the audio. Yeah. I know. It's funny, though, when you look at it. I mean, Amstrad with the 464 range, what's his nuts there? The Mug's Eyeful. What's his fucking name?
Alan Sugar.
Yeah, Sugar. He was a rip-off artist. And he tried to make the 464 a rip-off computer that was an also ran and just get some money out of it. But he actually had the right engineers, and it wasn't an also ran computer. It was good. It's funny. I love that stuff. But again, like you were saying, with the retro community, and we'll get off this in a second, but how many times can you watch yet another creators tell you the history of the Sinclair Spectrum in a 17-minute video? Right?
Yeah.
They're all just rewriting each other's scripts from 10 years ago now, right?
Yeah, running a chat GTP now.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Speaking of which.
Hello.
Yeah, so today, because I woke up like sober and ready to do things, I watched a video from a guy who seems to think he knows what he's doing. And he was talking about the description of a video and how even beyond hashtags and stuff, the words in the description matter for search. So what did he do? He told us to go to a company that costs money, and they will look at your video, run the transcript and so on, and give you a synopsis. And then, it was
Fidel Q.
No, it was a different one. But I got it wrong. It was you take the transcript and you run it through Chat GPT. Right? And I was immediately like, no, don't encourage more people to do this. YouTube, look at the goddamn logo. The word you, and then tube is in an old CRT television. You're supposed to put the U in tube. The last thing we need is more people going to Chat GPT to do their descriptions and all this and blah, blah, because it's a large language model. And what it's going to do is give everybody the same generic shit. And in a year and a half or 2 years, nothing you get from Chat GPT will matter in the algorithm because it's going to try to avoid that crap. It's a nasty circle. It's going to get you nowhere. Don't do it. Don't do it.
It'll only use like characters and it's like symbols and stuff that only other AIs will understand. They can
if you do a video about Kanye West, it'll put a swastika in, right?
Well, he'll do that.
I couldn't believe when you brought that article up. I'm like, doesn't he know he's black?
I know.
What?
He's going to stand out in the Gestapo, isn't he?
Yeah. My Führer, I've done all this for you. You know,
Well, it's like that. There's that scene in what is it, The Dirty Dozen, where one of the guys is black, and they're also like dressed in German uniforms, going behind the enemy lines, and they're also like looking at the black guy, going, "Well, this isn't going to work."
yeah. There was there was a TV show from about 10 years ago where they had a time machine and they would go back in time to try to fix things that some other group was trying to screw with. I can't remember what it was called. And they had a black pilot for the time machine and they landed in Nazi Germany. And he's like, yeah, this is going to go well. At least he acknowledged it, right?
Yeah. In fact, taking a black guy in a time machine doesn't bode well wherever you go.
Oh, that kept happening. He's like, now we're in the 1800s. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's stuffed. The only way he's going to be all right if they go to Africa in the 1800s. He'll be all right. He'll be the one that sticks out, or sorry to say, the white guys will be the ones that stick out.
Yeah, it was crazy though. I get the idea, we want to, represent everybody in the TV show, but when you're always going back in history, you've got to acknowledge how bad it's going to be for the black guy. You just have to. You can't just leave him off. Oh, you go steal a car for us. We'll meet you there later.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. I do find that a bit strange in a lot of modern days, like historical dramas, where they have inclusion of all these different people, and they're all walking around, in fancy clothes and top hats, and you've got a black guy,
and you're like, where are the chains?
Yeah, because it just wouldn't have happened. It just, I understand where they're coming from.
Yes,
and there's good heart intentions there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just giving the wrong impression of how
you can't twist history for inclusion. Just make a new show, right? Or do a show from the 1800s, but do it from the perspective of the slaves that had their own little place to live and stuff. Don't try to, make the black guy the sheriff and the Chinese guy the deputy, right? Come on.
That was Blazing Saddles.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying that never happened because, I mean, look at the story of the Lone Ranger. He was actually a black guy.
Yeah.
Right?
No, there were some black sheriffs in history.
Yeah. It just didn't happen every day and stuff, right?
I don't think they were popular.
Well, that's I can only imagine 3 or 4 white criminals being arrested by a black guy in the Old West.
Yeah, I know.
The language, I am not going to try to even do that conversation. No,
I know. I was just thinking about the old woman that takes the cake to a bar at the jail in Blazing Saddles. Oh, sorry about the up yours.
Yeah.
I made you a cake to sort of say that. Yeah, only they could get away with it back then. Oh dear God.
Exactly. But at the same time, you could do a remake of this show and that show and so on and blah, 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 and put different people in all you want. It doesn't matter. Although I will say, instead of doing a remake of Knight Rider and putting a Mexican guy in the role, why don't you just make a new show? Right?
Yeah. Well, funny enough, there's an old TV. I mean, there's no like race swap or anything like that, but there was an old TV show back in the 80s. PJ will remember this. He's the only UK guy I know who remembers all this shit. But it was called Bergerac, and it was this one of those like investigator shows, and he lived on one of the Channel Islands. Was it Jersey or Guernsey? I can't remember. I think it was Jersey. It doesn't.
He's already got it in there. It's Jersey.
Yeah. So there was this guy Bergerac, and it was like a classic. Well, I say classic, a cult classic on the BBC. It ran for years. People loved it, and it's coming back. Yeah, but all they're really bringing back is the title. They're not bringing back that show. They're not bringing back the original cast. They're not bringing. Well, most of them are dead now anyway. But it's like you're just bringing back the name and banking on that name.
Yeah. That's like we're going to bring back The Prisoner, but it's going to be in a town of furries, and he's the one person who won't wear fur. or so. It's just ridiculous.
Hey,
Right?
that might work.
But I don't get that.
Something there.
You know what that screams to me is we have so little faith in the project that we're just going to have to use a popular name to make sure it sells.
Well, that's the funny thing is, especially when you're talking about like a cop show or one of those shows where there's someone's a private investigator or whatever. It's like there are so many of them. They've all stood on their own 2 feet.
That's right.
I could rattle off like 50 or so off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Like Kojak, Starsky and Hutch.
Yeah,
you got Cannon. You got the Rockford Files. All these sort of things, and they were classic at their time.
Totally.
Rockford Files was classic because it had Jim Rockford, James Garner.
Living in a trailer, driving a low end Formula Firebird. It was perfect, man.
Exactly. But you can bring it back as the Rockford Files and a new person, but then it's not the Rockford Files anymore. It's just something completely different.
Why not just make like the Rockford Files? Now look at what was it called, the movie with Mel Gibson and Danny Glover, where Mel Gibson's a lunatic.
Yes.
The hell is that called? Right? They're cops,
Yes.
Lethal
Weapon.
Lethal Weapon. Look at Mel Gibson's character. He lives in a trailer as a cop. He's ripping on Rockford. That's what they did. They just made him crazy, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to use the old property. Make a new thing. I don't get it. Well, I do get it, because what's going on is the powers that be, the people that pay for these productions, are so scared that they won't make money on every one of them. Remember, in Hollywood, it used to be that they would invest in 5 shows, 2 would be popular, they'd make money, and that was good. 3 would lose, 2 would win. It's fine. That's not the case anymore. Because it's all driven by the stock market now. Every single damn thing has to be a winner. And that's why they're constantly rehashing the names and stuff to us now. Right?
Well, again, using the Rockford Files as an example, when the scripts of that series landed on some executive's desk and they read them and go, yeah, we're going to make this into a show. What's it called? Oh, Rockford Files. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
But now it's like, what title have we got? And then write me some scripts about it. I don't know, anything. It's
exactly.
Just fill in the gaps. It's like no, that's not how it's done. And probably what's happening is they're getting like kind of like okay-ish scripts coming in for a new TV drama about private investigator Mick McConaughey. And they're going, yeah. This is all right. This is all right. But could we call him Jim Rockford instead?
Yeah, exactly.
And call it the Rockford Files. And then the writers go, yeah, if it pays a check, fuck it, I'll take it.
Yeah. I wonder if they're even using writers at this point, right? Are they just going to LLMs and whatnot, going, give us an idea for a reboot of this show?
No, they're using writers, except the writers are going to the LLMs.
Okay. Yeah. Mike 71 in the chat says they brought back Magnum PI. They did. Yeah. And I watched every episode of it, being a massive fan of the original. I gave it a chance. And instead of looking at it and judging it by the characters of the original show, I just watched it. And it was really good. Not amazing, but it was a worthwhile PI show for sure.
Maybe that was Mick McConaughey, the private investigator.
Yeah.
But they said, no, we got to change the title to Magnum.
But that's just it. With that Magnum reboot, had they taken the dude and the chick that was the new Higgins and the supporting cast and whatnot, and instead of putting them in Hawaii, just put them somewhere else, like they did with Simon and Simon and all those 70s, 80s PI shows, it would have been a fine show. But they were scared and they need a hit. So they used the Magnum PI name. They even in one episode in the beginning had the new Magnum drive the old original Magnum's Ferrari 308 GTB because the new Ferrari was in the shop. Yeah. And it even had the license plate Robin 1 from the original show.
Right.
You know?
Right. Do they sneak Tom Selleck into it in any way, shape, or form in the background?
Tom Selleck was so tall, I can't believe his feet would even fit in the footwell of the 308 to change gears and stuff, you know?
Well, they didn't. They had a stunt. They had a stunt midget.
Yeah, I often wonder if they didn't convert it to an automatic just to make it easier on him, you know? You notice how he almost never gets in the car with the roof? Because I don't think he fits, you know?
He couldn't get in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they made one like 1.25%. 125% bigger, 25% bigger. Get my numbers right. Get my maths right before you start complaining in the chat.
Mike 71 says they also had a new Hawaii 5.0. They even went earlier than that because before Hawaii 5.0, the original existed. We used to watch a TV show called SWAT. That's out now. And then SWAT was replaced by Michael Douglas and Carl Malden in the streets of San Francisco. And I remember being pissed, but my neighbor's older brother was like, no, this show's going to be great. So we all watched it. And I'm waiting for the streets of San Francisco to be redone now, right?
Well, they did what was the other one? Oh, shit. What was it? The MacGyver?
Yeah, they did. The MacGyver guy was a punk little bitch, but it was still better than Quantum Leap reboot. Oh my God, that is so terrible.
I'm surprised they haven't brought back Hill Street Blues. If you want my opinion, that was a massive hit, big classic. Even other, like again Starsky and Hutch. Starsky and Hutch, they did the movie, but
go back to Hill Street Blues. You can't bring that back because after Hill Street Blues, most cop shows were more gritty like Hill Street Blues, and there's nothing to revisit anymore.
They can't make it any grittier.
Yeah, exactly. Unless it's just naked people. That's right.
Oh, there's a show.
Yeah,
We'll put that on the cards.
David Worley in the chat there. Hey, Dave. American version of the Italian Job. I remember when what's his name was a guest on Top Gear, and what's his name? The guy who
shit.
He wishes he was Matt Damon. Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, he wishes he was Matt Damon. Wahlberg was on Top Gear, and Clarkson was like, was there any like hesitation or reticence about remaking such a classic beloved movie? And he says, well, over here, you guys, actually care, but in America, nobody gives a fuck what you do to the movie, right?
Yeah, so true.
Yeah,
and they did a horrible job to it.
I hear it's terrible. I haven't even watched it. I refuse.
But then you haven't seen the original one either, so.
No, that's true. It's one of the few car chase classic movies I haven't seen. That is true.
It is very, very quintessentially British.
Which would probably work for me, right? Like, to be honest, I watch a lot of British content,
Yeah, and it's very witty. And obviously, bloody Michael Caine. You can't beat a bit of Caine.
Oh, I like him very much. I remember being, 12 or 13, and I was introduced to Michael Caine because of the movie Blame It on Rio.
That's not a very good introduction.
Yeah, but for a kid of 12 or 13, it wasn't bad, actually. What year did that come out? Yeah. 84. Oh, really? I was 14 when I saw that? Doesn't sound right. I guess I was like looking for something equivalent to Porky's and watch that.
Now, the thing about Michael Caine is this. His movies are just quintessentially British, and you can't get much more quintessentially British than a good old Michael Caine. And especially if the movie starts to get a little bit shouty. If it starts getting a little bit shouty, that's when you want. I'm only supposed to blow the bloody doors off.
Imagine those glasses on me. That's what I could look like in a few days. We'll see here.
What? Blonde, good looking and British?
I said the glasses on me.
Shut your face. I put me normal clothes back on.
Oh, dear God. That means he's been naked this whole time.
Oh, dear.
It's a good thing I'm rolling a joint here.
Yeah. Do one for me.
Yeah, sure. I'll transmit it down the Ethernet. I do have 2.5 gig, you know.
Yeah, but I think my firewall might prevent that.
Well, the British one will.
Pretty fucking tariffs on it.
I remember when you guys first enacted the whole anti-porn filter in the UK, and pictures with like orange cars were getting blocked at first because, you know,
anything. There was this great story. This comedian that he did all like these kind of like strange TV shows, but he was talking about the fact that he moved into a house, and behind a wardrobe that he moved, they found a huge stash of porn magazines. And it was like, well, how do I get rid of porn magazines? Because you're just going to get caught. You can't just like throw them in the bin because the binman will find them, and they'll start pointing fingers at you because you've got these porn magazines.
Whoa,
so,
what happened? Okay,
I don't know. So what he decided to do was shred them. Right. So then what you end up doing is end up with a whole bunch of shredded paper that's essentially flesh colored. And it turned out a friend of his had like a pair of gerbils, and two boy gerbils, and he donated the magazines to this friend. So the gerbils had a little something to scurry around in the bedding and stuff like that. But it turned out they weren't both boys. One of them was male and female, and all the porn mags just got them all horny, and they had babies.
That is freaking amazing. Oh man, that's funny. That's what happens, folks. You show some gerbils a little bit of TNA, and they fuck like rabbits.
I don't know. I've never seen any video of rabbits fucking. I don't know how they do it.
I don't even know the saying. Everybody says it all the time, but is it true? Like, do they really, just fuck like rabbits? Yeah.
Do they like strap themselves into like a contraption and dangle themselves from the ceiling wearing sadomasochistic kind of like wear and slap each other's bottoms and like we do in Britain?
Yeah, if you put a dude rabbit in with like 3 ugly girl rabbits, do they still fuck like rabbits?
Gets a bit choosy.
Yeah, do you have to get them drunk first or them? What if you have an ugly dude and 3 hot lady rabbits, right? I don't know.
That sounds like a movie. I've just come to check your burrow.
Do transgender rabbits fuck like cis rabbits? I mean, there's a lot of questions here. I don't know. I know that sounds like I'm making fun, but there's got to be some gay living in rabbits, and and the L's and the G's and the B's. I don't know, right?
I guess we're just gonna have to wait for the Veritasium video. I'll re-edit it down to get to the point.
Yeah, get to the point, right?
Yeah. How do rabbits fuck?
I think it's very quickly. You know.
Do they line them up?
Yeah. Maybe they have like that same set with the backroom casting couch that guy made for his science fair project. Remember?
Do you remember we did that story about all the furries and there's that convention? What was it?
I'm sorry, but that scares me.
Yeah, I wonder what happens if someone just like turns up in a rabbit costume with a cheeky wink in their eye.
Carpathian in the chat, Bunny's gone wild. Yeah. We could do a little clip trip on that. Bunny's gone wild and put it up. That'd be funny.
Yeah, put it to some like 70s porn music.
Yeah. Yeah, and we could probably steal it from the ZX Spectrum movie.
See, the thing is, I used to collect soundtracks, and I used to collect like really obscure.
I had the Star Wars disco soundtrack back in the late 70s, 79, whatever it was. Oh, it was so fucking bad.
Yeah, no, I've got it. I can send it to you. But no, I was just thinking, I've never seen porn films bring out a soundtrack, album.
Yeah. You want to imagine this guy fucking somebody else? Get the soundtrack.
Yeah. Written by John Williams.
Oh, that'd be a lot of weird fucking because it's all staccato, right? Don't.
Yeah, well, somebody must have been writing it,
I remember a couple of years back, I had a friend over and we were watching something, and I was like, "Oh my god, this guy desperately wants to be John Williams with this soundtrack." And then I thought, and I looked it up on my phone, and it was him.
It was, yeah.
You can always tell,
We had a similar conversation tonight with my son. My wife was watching this. What was it? British Landscape Painter of the Year sort of thing, and there was a guy hosting it, and my son's looking again. Oh, that guy! He looks like somebody. He looks like somebody I know. It's an actor. He looks like an actor that's been in something. I said, "What? Like Stephen Mangham?" The guy that you're watching looks like Stephen Mangham. Yeah, it's because it's Stephen Mangham.
Yeah.
He looks to go and goes, "Oh yeah, he's been in things I've watched. Yeah, because he is the guy."
Yeah, that's like watching Air Force One and going, "I think this guy once did a movie where he had a hat and a leather jacket."
What, the president?
Yeah.
Oh dear. Trying to think what president had a hat and a leather jacket. That would have been more Jimmy Carter, maybe. No, must have been that big Texan. There's been a Texan president. I don't know.
Well, the Bushes, right?
We had a hat.
Not gonna do it. Remember Dana Carvey's impersonation of Bush? Fuck, that was hilarious. Stay the course. He did that nasally voice. We're gonna stay the course. We're gonna keep it true to the Republican, and it's funny. He was great at that.
Do you remember the South Park boys? They brought out a series, a sitcom, and we've talked about this. And I don't think you actually knew the sitcom, but it was called "That's My Bush," and it was a sitcom based in the White House with President Bush. And it was just like just a sitcom. It wasn't about politics or anything like that. It was just a sitcom. And he had an annoying neighbor that came in all the time and stuff like that. You found it.
Yeah.
And I was when this whole thing started kicking off with Trump, I was thinking, my God, why are you not doing this? Why aren't you remaking That's My Bush with Trump in the White House with the annoying neighbor, Elon Musk?
Yeah, it could have been like a Home Improvement, and Musk could be like what's his name, the guy with the fence and the hat. Yeah,
but no, he's the annoying neighbor that always just comes in, raids your fridge, and just talks about their shit.
Kramer. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I was thinking, yeah, why they should bring it back? And I was thinking, there's no way those guys can compete with the comedy that's actually coming out of the White House.
Yeah, that's true. That's like we have been in the background saying all the time, we don't want the 42 show to be the Trump show. But what are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
He's the biggest buffoon, moron, fake tan, golden toilet shitting son of a bitch. And everything he does is moronic. And what are we supposed to do? You know?
I must admit, I am getting sick to the sight of him.
Totally
sick about hearing about. I mean, I don't know what the people in the chat
especially
are.
That,
our audience,
white baggy skin around his fucking fake tanned eyes. You know,
just that anything he says, anything he does, it's just like so fucking annoying. And I was just like, where is the world gonna kick back?
Yeah,
because I can't believe just everybody is just like bending their knees to him. I just don't get it.
I know. With the announcement of the reciprocal tariffs and whatnot today, the UK government came out and said, well, we're just going to wait and see. You know, sometimes tariffs are announced, sometimes they're removed and stuff. I hope they're just putting a public face on this, but in the background, you're doing like we are, and you got trade ministers running around all over the place going, hey, you guys want to do a deal? Let's do some shit, right? You know?
Well, I mean, the new government, the new Labour government has done fuck all apart from bad things so far. So, taking shit away from people. So, we're still waiting for them to actually get up, do something useful.
You got, over in your way, the next party could probably win an election just by saying we're going to rescind Brexit and rejoin the union, right?
Well, that's good because that means the the Reform UK party won't get in then because that's not what they're going to be into. But they're like fucking far right, stupid fucking bastards.
All this far right stuff. I mean, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Yeah.
This, and if you can't, you got to fight these people on social media. They think that they're being sold a truth that will help them. But the only people this right-wing movement is going to help is the uber rich. Everybody else is fucked.
Yeah. And let's face it, the uber rich at the minute are more uber rich than we've ever known uber rich people to be.
They took advantage of the COVID pandemic to the point of insanity and rose prices, claiming it was the supply chain and all that crap. And it was a bit, but none of those prices went down worth a shit afterwards. It's all lies, man. It's all lies. All they're doing is screwing us over now to the point of insanity.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things, I keep hearing, lessons from history and all that kind of stuff. Have we not learned anything from the past? And I'm thinking, well, we have learned something from the past. Is how to become Third Reich and take the power away from the people. And
that's right.
Come on. Yeah, they have learned lessons, just the wrong fucking ones.
Exactly. The lessons they learned is how to make us believe the bullshit, at least a lot of us, the masses, let's call it, and actually fall in line, thinking it's going to help us. I mean, no offense to old school Republicans, but you remember Ronald Reagan and Reaganomics, the trickle down economics? It never worked. If you give to the rich thinking that they will pass on some of the extra profits to the poor, you are either lying to us or yourself, but there's a lie in there. That's it.
Yeah. I don't think it ever
ever
worked.
It never will, because all these uber rich guys are doing this thing where they're in a race to see who dies with the most. They don't give a shit.
I think there's been like a handful of cases where you have like CEOs of a company who really, put the interests of their workers first. There's a handful.
Yeah.
Handful.
Most of them want to pay the workers less so the shareholders get more. But once a company has gone public, the way the shares trade do nothing for me as a consumer or for you as an employee of the company. Now we're just making people money that have nothing to do with it.
Well, the other interesting thing, if you think about shareholders, is the shareholders for one company are probably exactly the same shareholders for like multiple other companies.
Exactly.
Do you know why? Because they can afford to buy shares.
And they're all on the board of directors for each other's companies.
Yeah.
So they can all make sure that the company only cares about the value of the stock.
Yeah, the people who can't buy the shares are the poor people who aren't paying for it. Yeah, it's just like.
And then what happens is if you're on the stock market as a company and you don't grow, you fail. So what happens is people promote a company like Tesla until it's worth $1.1 trillion in stock, even though the company's nowhere near worth that much, because they all get rich and have value from it, right? But then when the company doesn't grow anymore and the stock falters, they sell out, let that company die, and move on to the next one. It doesn't help society at all. It actually makes it worse. You know, they're extracting way too much wealth for nothing.
I don't know what to say. I mean, at this point, I've probably given up. You know, just everything, just totally given up. And the way social media is being used to, you know, lie to the, you know, the public, so they don't understand. Nobody knows what the fuck's going on.
Yeah. It's all manipulation. It's all terrible. You know, go back to the stock market of the 60s and 70s when people would invest in companies that they thought were going to grow and whatnot. Nowadays, it's all about short sellers and it's all to game it to make money. They don't even care about the fucking companies anymore, you know?
And I don't understand all this shit about hedge funds either. I mean, why are these hedges getting all the money? What's going on?
Yeah. Why are you funding either women that don't shave or borders on your property based on vegetation? Either way, it's weird, right? I'm just kidding. But there's so like the whole system is gamed so that the rich can make more money now. That's what it is, right? I could go on forever. I'm not a fan, you know.
Yeah. Let's go on a march tomorrow.
Yeah.
Let's bring everything down. Bring it all down.
Yeah.
Bring knickers down. Bring the government down.
I don't want to sound like I'm against the idea of a stock market because in its purest original form, the idea of going, I think that company is going to do really well. I'm going to buy some shares and maybe I'll make a bit of money off them is a good environment to be in. I agree with that. The problem is it's no longer honest. It's a game. That's the problem.
Well,
right?
Well, it's also shifted to like cryptocurrency, where you know the people who
come be legal.
I know. It is just basically kind of like theft. You set up a cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
It does like really, really well. You rake in the money in the first hour, and then you sell all your crypto, and thanks, I'm rich, and thing plummets. And everybody loses money.
It shouldn't even be legal to do this. It should not be. But Trump has said that America is going to be the crypto king country of the world. So, wow.
Well, you saw that article I posted, which is basically a warning, basically that what Trump and Musk are intending to do is to tank the economy, and have the whole United States shift over to crypto, and it will be their crypto. It will be their crypto.
Yeah, because they both have their own, right? But now this is where, because the Federal Reserve in America is separate from the government, we have to hope and pray that those guys, like I think it's Greenspan still, or at least Greenspan was in charge of the Fed. They call it the Federal Reserve for years, but You got to hope and pray that they fight against this crap.
Oh, well, shut the fuck up. I bet you Musk has already had access to Fort Knox, and he's just like rolled around in like gold bars. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Just, you know.
Yeah. He probably gave Donald one up the backside, you know. Lubeless too. Take it dry, bitch. You know.
Yeah, warm it up first, Elon. Bastards.
Yeah, it's terrible though. But let's not rant too far, right? Because we're gonna start sounding like sorry ass poor people, you know.
No, yeah, you need to make me more depressed.
Yeah. He's gonna go greener, right?
I just get so so angry and just so despondent.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
It's terrible. But I do hope over the next couple of years that the EU, the UK, South America, Central America, and so on. Sorry to leave anybody out, like my lovely Australian and Kiwi friends, but I hope that all of our governments get together and create new trade avenues so that we don't lose collectively over the decisions of an orange-painted moron. I really hope that happens. I know in Canada, we have strange barriers. Yeah. Yeah. In Canada, we have interprovincial, think states, barriers to trade. Like, oh, you can't sell Alberta wine in BC without tariffs and blah, blah, blah. And all the premiers, the people that run the provinces, are having meetings right now to get rid of that fast. And we're very much trying to open our own markets internally to help stop the bad that will happen to workers in affected industries and sectors, right? So, you know, I hope that it also happens internationally as well. And we really open up some new markets for everybody, not just for Canada, but for everybody, because we're going to need your shit just like you're going to need our shit. So let's just make it so we can trade our shit effectively, right? It's very easy, right? Don't be greedy. We won't either. And then we can all get drunk and sign the paper. It's that simple. Right? You know? I would love to see that so much. God, this is one of the better joints I've rolled in a while. It's lasted so long and it's just lovely.
That's because you've been ranting so much. You've been talking so much. You haven't smoked it.
Yeah, but it's still burning, right? So that's interesting. Yeah, I've been smoking it just enough to keep it going.
Yeah, it's funny. Last weekend I did a stream on my channel. Just myself chatting away. And
I gotta have a stinger for shameless self-promotion.
Hey, I didn't tell anybody what channel it was, so it wasn't a promotion. But the funny thing was, I poured myself a glass of wine, rolled myself a cigarette, and started the stream. But because I didn't have you fucking on it, I didn't have half an hour in. I'm still looking. I haven't smoked the cigarette yet. I haven't lit it. I haven't drunk any wine yet because you're on the stream yourself. You just like talking and talking and talking.
So what you're saying is, if you want to hear Dunk as an ornery old man who's not drunk, go and watch that show, right?
No, don't go and watch it. It's terrible. But the point is, you need someone else there just for that moment that you can have a drink and have a light your cigarette and whatever and take a draw from it. Otherwise, because if you're doing it on yourself, just don't have a bloody chance.
Yeah. No, exactly. Right. That's where you end up having to be one of those flat earthers that has to piss in a bottle while you're live on your own show. Right.
Oh, I did that. Funny thing, it wasn't even my piss.
Yeah. I had my son do it for me because I was too busy.
I've got time.
That's funny.
But it is funny that started that stream. It just didn't even occur to me that I was just sitting there with the cigarette and I was sitting there with a drink and I was like, And I'm looking at the thinking, why is my throat hurting? Oh, it's because I haven't had a drink. Why why are my lungs working to full capacity? Oh, it's because I haven't lit my cigarette.
Yeah.
What's wrong with me?
No.
There's something not right.
Yeah, I feel like I'm leaving the hospital, not entering. That's odd, you know. But it's the same for me. Like if I was doing these hangout shows just myself, blithering on like an idiot or whatever, and I didn't have somebody to bounce off of, the show would be done in 35 minutes because I would just rattle through what's on my brain and bugger off, right?
Fall asleep.
yeah. That's what they call it these days. Yeah.
Look at him. He's all tuckered out from his rant.
Yeah. Here, me rant.
It is very difficult to do a stream solo though, because it's
like I was saying. The only thing I think I could do solo would be that intro I do for the 42 show now as its own thing just on Monday and Wednesday to fill the gaps. That's because it's not, I don't have to, I mean, like if I need to cough for a second and I mute my mic, you instantly pick it up. But if you see, I like there's so many, it leaves you fucked, right?
Well, it's also, you know, what you're going to talk about, and you have to rely on the chat to you know, keep things moving along, to give you inspiration of something else to talk about.
Read and don't talk, and yeah. You know, you end up doing that Sergeant Rock thing. So and so, you know, and you don't read the comment from the live chat. You just answer it, and everybody's like, "Who's he talking to?"
Yeah. Oh, that used to drive me mad. That used to drive me mad doing streams with people like that. You know, just like read. We did that with you know, Dr. Groovy when we were doing streams with him, and he would just like answer.
Yeah.
I was like, no, context, read it out. You know,
everybody viewing is in the live chat, dumb.
Yeah,
you know?
We had the pop-up chat things. You know, you could scroll back and find the question, but it just like, you know, suddenly blurt out an answer to somebody. Gibson 365. Yeah, my favorite. What's the question?
Yeah, those are funny, man. I don't like that. They only work for somebody who's in the live chat and is a diehard viewer. Everybody else is just like, I'm not sure what he's talking about anymore. No?
Yeah. Even if you got the chat on screen, you know, like we have, that still doesn't mean anything, you know, because
especially if you got eyes like mine, I can't even read it. You know?
Yeah, but the question was probably already gone off the screen by that time.
Yeah, 2 minutes ago, right? You know?
Yeah.
Well, that's funny. So let's get an opinion thing going in the live chat. Not a poll because that's too restrictive. But what do you all think in the live chat will be Trump's what the fuck moment tomorrow? Right? So
nobody has that good an imagination.
I think Trump's what the fuck moment is going to be reciprocal tariffs already announced on some of the allied nations that they actually make money off of in America due to the trade, and he's going to kill it. That's what I think. But my second guess would be Doge and the finger-picking child do something even dumber.
No, I think he's going to make Cheetos the official crisp of America.
Hey, maybe that's why Trump looks the way he does. He is just a corn puff that's been cheese coated.
Yeah.
He's fake American cheese. You know,
he's going to copyright his skin color.
I'm surprised that hat of his isn't tone matched, so that, you know, right? You know, the red
MAGA hat.
Yeah. Make America aggressive again.
make it ginger again.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, it's just like making America again.
Okay, here's a thing we can ask the live chat.
Hands up who likes me.
When Donald Trump passes away, will Melania light fireworks from behind his tombstone?
She'll light him from his ass.
I mean, seriously, the only way that guy impregnated her was through a test tube, you know?
I think it's probably through the gardener.
Yeah. Mailman, milkman. I mean, take your pick, right?
I'm using him as a contraceptive.
Yeah, no, I'm just helping him sculpt your golden toilet, my liege. You know?
She must have just felt like she was climbing onto a waterbed that had like a sprung loose.
Yeah.
Stick it up.
Yeah. I've rode this waterbed 40 times. I've never felt a penis, but here we go again.
Yeah, you had to put a quarter into his slot to make him start getting the wobble.
Well, he probably uses JD Vance as a couch to make sure that he actually moves, right? You know? Maybe that's why Vance got the position, you know? He puts the humana in the presidential bedroom.
Oh dear. I can't believe it when I say it. I wish Trump was gone and Vance became president elect. Well. No, he'd just become president. Well, he's not president elect. He'd become president. You know, he can't possibly be worse.
I mean, seriously, if my son was as dumb as Eric, I would have put him in foster care. What the fuck, you know?
Oh dear. Let's talk about something happy. Can we talk about something happy?
Happy, joy. What is that? Ren and Stimpy?
Ren and Stimpy,
Yeah. I remember the episode of Ren and Stimpy where the fat red one chased his own fart around for the whole episode. It's one of the only ones I ever saw. And I was like, I'm not sure this is for me. No.
Ren and Stimpy was great.
Yeah. We'll take a poll. Those who have access to the Shills Plex server, do you want Ren and Stimpy on the server? Please vote.
Oh, got it.
But vote your conscience, you know.
No, I'm quite happy with the memory of Ren and Stimpy. I don't want to go back and watch it all again.
Yeah. Okay, Shayna said no, so that's it. The poll is closed. It has been decided. Yeah, there we go. When I say everybody, I'm actually just asking Shayna, right? But
I mean, Ren and Stimpy is definitely one of those things. Like I said, it was great. I enjoyed watching it, but no, I don't want to go back there. Yeah, a bit like my wedding night, you know.
Yeah.
It's, you know, there must be loads of things like that, you know, you experience where you go, yeah, it was a great experience. I don't want to relive it.
Yeah. Another little thing, we've got something cool brewing in the background. Chris Lundy is logging into the private Shills server. It's an unraid server. Never mind the technology, but
into the back door.
He went right in. But in the very near future, we are going to have. You'll have to be on Patreon to get the link. You can be. So just get there, but there's going to be a URL where you can log in and play all kinds of cool old retro video games. There'll be like arcade versions of the classics and stuff that you can play. And the ones that are from like the late 90s and whatnot, mid 90s, they will be online playable as well. And we'll do a little thing in the Discord where we have a high score list and so on. And Oh, yeah. It'll be really cool coming up. And the only way to get to that is going to be on our Patreon, because if we give it to everybody open season style, the lawsuits are going to be absolute, right? So, small group, right?
It's a stupid idea because everyone will be playing games instead of watching our shows.
No, I'm going to turn it off during the shows. Right? Yeah.
You'll be playing Pac-Man and there'll be a live link suddenly appears in the middle of it.
I'm going to have Super Dave Osborne come out onto the thing and say, "What are you doing? The show's live right now. You got to turn this off." And then,
yeah.
Little bizarre joke, if you know what I'm talking about.
No, they're not Canadian.
There might be one person that knows. No, come on now. Super chat Matt in the chat there. Super long username. It's February. Are we going to have 2 after shows? One today and one tomorrow? Yep, we're having one tomorrow too. I already bought the beer and they're in the fridge.
Golly gosh.
Oh, yeah. But you know what that means? I'll probably have to wake up with a beer on Saturday a.m. just to sober myself up.
Yeah. You got rid of the teas made. You just got a beers made right next to the bed. The alarm goes off. 8 o'clock. Beers nicely chilled.
Yeah, it'll be like Doc Brown from Back to the Future, except instead of dog food, I have a thing that serves me a beer as I get out of bed. Right?
Couple of tacos pop up.
Oh, now that would be awesome, man. In our house, Mexico and their food is everything.
Taco breakfast. He's off. He's running away. He's off for an adventure. Look at that. It's like the Flash.
Oh,
he's just gone off. He's just gone and saved a whole bus of school children that was hanging off the off a bridge. It's about to collapse into the chasm, and he's close. Back.
What I actually had to do was save a bunch of Americans that were illegally crossing the border to come and live in Canada. But I still have tent room in my backyard, so I saved them. Right, it's okay.
You got 40,000 in that tent so far.
Yeah.
It was only a 4-man tent.
they live like it's a Tokyo hotel, but they seem to like it. Hey, Chris Lundy in the chat. Yeah, I was just talking about you and the server and setting up some video game stuff and whatnot. And I was giving them a little tease on the ideas we have coming up here soon. And I got a little bit I thought my ability with the computers and stuff was a little better than it was, but I don't have a lot of Linux experience. So I had some grandiose ideas and then had to call in some serious backup because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah, you had to get grown up. Talking of which, can you hold the line for 5 minutes while I go and get myself a little toppy up?
Sure. Go ahead. So when he says a little top up, he's going to just try to get the mushroom tip to extend. No, I'm just kidding. So we want to get the little server thing a little bit more in action to have let everybody have some fun. But again, like I was saying, this is going to be restricted to the Patreon. Now, you might say, well, wait a minute. I'm a member on the main Shills channel. And we love that. And we will, try to tag that over. The thing is YouTube and Patreon no longer play ball together because YouTube brought in members to try to get rid of Patreon, right? And it makes it difficult because if members on YouTube, we can do members only videos and things like that. Like they've really tried to make it good, but YouTube takes 30% from every membership dollar we get. And then YouTube taxes us another 10% on the payout. Whereas with Patreon, Or if somebody signs up to that Ko-fi place, we'll do the same thing with that and give the link there as well. We only lose like 7% or 8%, right? And that is a massive amount to us, right? If you look at our membership money now, we have 200 some memberships on the main Shills channel, and that works out to be X amount of dollars. I'm sorry, it's none of your business. But it would be X amount of dollars plus almost 40% if it wasn't on YouTube. So coming up soon, we're going to change the YouTube memberships on the main channel. And as soon as these channels are monetized, it's going to be the same thing, so that you do get a bit of a benefit from being a member. But if you really are actually a supporter, you want to be on Patreon, because that's where you're going to get the link to join us do the 42 show live. We're not going to be sharing that out to everybody as things grow, right? And there is a free tier, so don't get the wrong idea. This isn't fucking paywalled, right? There is a free tier on Patreon. And even if you're on the free tier, you're still going to be able to join us. But we do have to try to get people to be on Patreon more, because holy shit, it would make all the difference. Like, I could update the background here and really have some more, a little bit more spend and a shelf and blah, blah and whatnot. And I'd be able to upgrade things as it pertains to a few other things. We could add a service or two, like, and improve the content we deliver. It's a big deal, you know?
What about the our real supporters? What about the armbands you want everyone to wear? They're quite classy, red.
Yeah,
white,
yeah.
The Shills logo in the middle of it. Yeah.
Hellfire. But yeah, like seriously, every time we get a super chat, if that person who sends the super chat and they say, "Oh, support for Ukraine," and they send us $50, if you think that we get to give a Ukraine charity, or maybe like Britain, Ukraine, or somebody who's fighting on the line, if you think we get to give them $50, no, we do not. Right? We literally get to give them about 60% of $50. So, super chats aren't your friend if you want your dollar to go further. I know that, it's basically about us, but it's not, because it's also about Ukraine, right? It's also about whatever charity we're supporting that day. Or, I mean, we've done the foster kid place. What's that? One Simple Wish and whatnot, Every time we do that stuff, we lose a lot of money through super chats. I get it. Go ahead.
It was a great idea when they came up with it, and obviously the person who came up with the idea for super chats, I hope they ended up getting like a share of the super chats that come in.
Wow,
worldwide. I mean, how much could it possibly be? How much is Google making?
Look at it this way:
on super chats.
What the reason super chats work and people keep using them is they want that damn recognition of that big colored thing going up the live chat, right?
Yeah, but I understand that. That's great, because it pops.
Yeah, but hold on. Whoa. Yeah, but hold on. When Linus Tech Tips goes live for the WAN show, the guy's got 20+ million subs, and he's got a company that was offered to be for a buyout for $100 million, right?
Wow.
Yeah. And that was like a year and a half ago, before he hired the CEO to run things and stuff. He has super chats turned on during the WAN show, but they will not read your super chat. What they do is read the message if you buy merch from their merch store. And yet people still super chat to see that fucking colored bubble of theirs go up the live chat. And I've seen people super chat $50, $100 to Linus Tech Tips, a multi-millionaire.
I've seen 500. I think that's the maximum.
Yeah. It's unbelievable, man. What are you doing? Why are you giving, somebody who...
Yeah, give it to us.
Yeah. Well, but give it to creators who need the support. Why would you member Linus Tech Tips when he makes $20,000 on a sponsor for a video? Why would you do that? Right?
Nah.
I wouldn't do that. Holy shit, man. Are you kidding? That's saying
getting a bit personal.
Yeah, no, but that's like me going to Best Buy in Canada and saying, I'm going to membership up to you guys for $20 a month just because I like watching your YouTube videos. They're a company. They're a corporation. Why are you giving them money?
I don't know. I'm not subbed to their channel. Does it happen? do they do live streams? If not, maybe we should get in touch.
Yeah.
What do you live stream for you? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Chris Lundy was this one smart enough to realize that the YouTube chat on the live show is from the last show and not this one. So here.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I didn't think of redoing it. So there you go. Good call, Chris.
How long? Yes, an hour and a half.
Yeah. He's like, it's probably way too late now, but you're an idiot. Yes, I am.
Ticks all the boxes.
Yeah. Well, we weren't planning on doing this. We just did because Felix isn't home and I had beer, right?
Oh.
Yeah. Warning shots.
So if Linux can sell, was offered his business for like $100 million or whatever.
Yeah.
How much are we going to sell dick flicks for in the future? Are we going to sell that to Paramount, CBS, Disney?
Well, as it stands right now, we're going to get 12 dildos and 3 tubs of fisted, but I'm working on it, right?
And that's just through the lawsuit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, dear.
So let's see here. I don't want to drag it on because maybe what we should do, because Felix still isn't home and I've still got a lot of beer, maybe we'll take a little private hangout to the Discord and we don't have to do this live anymore, right? Why not? So let me know in the chat. You can say, Dick, great idea, or you can keep it to your fucking self.
Yeah. And when Dick says drag it on, he's going to wear a dress.
Oh, yeah. Right now, if you're somebody that pisses me off, no, I'm just kidding.
Oh, me? Hello.
Yeah.
I'm here on your shoulder.
Yeah.
Just making annoying noises.
Yeah. Well, that's why Dunk and I get along so well on these shows, because we don't really like each other. We just have learned tolerance.
Yes. It's like I said on my live stream the other day. I was talking about our relationships. Yeah, Dick's a good friend of mine. Well, we get a lot. Well, no, yeah. Well, it's just a guy I know.
He's an asshole. I don't blame you. I've told my neighbor about this fucking that I have to stream with all the time. Well, you got the Scots and the kilts, so I can use, except I can't because
I better put one on.
Dear God, it's better than nothing. It just is. So what do you guys think? Should we head over to Discord and have a little hangout? If you're not in our Discord, I will generate an invite for you right now. And I will post it in the live chat. I do believe that the the description has a Discord invite, but if not, no, maybe it doesn't. So I'll put it right at the top. Discord invite.
And those permanent invites run out of time.
No, this one is a 7-day one because if you're that slow, fuck you. So it's in the live chat and it's also in the description of the video. If you don't see it in the description, refresh it quick and check it out. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, but share is the most important. We have had to separate the content from the main Shills channel.
So God. Yeah.
Here. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
We've had to separate things. So YouTube does not like the fact that we do PubChat, the 42 show, and the Ukraine show all on one channel because the interest factor is too separate. So the original channel at TheShills is our Ukraine channel. The channel you're on right now is at TheShills Live, and that's where you find all our live shit. And for the 42 show, it's at TheShills 42 show. And then you can find us everywhere.
The fact that we had a comment from a guy who said, "Oh, what? Got multiple channels to sub to? That's too much for me. I can't deal with that. I'm out."
Yeah. Especially because we were about to integrate them onto the team, and we were like, "Okay, then." Wow, no call outs, right?
It's so funny.
Yeah,
it's so funny. Oh, it's too hard. Too complicated.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I can barely even find my favorite Pornhub model, let alone green channels,
I mean, the simple fact that, this is what other channels do.
I know, everybody does it. I mean, come on.
Okay. Admittedly, a lot of these other channels do it as they grow, and they'll do a separate channel for this and separate. And we did it in one big bash.
But we fought against that. We tried to make the channel a bit more like a TV station where you get multiple types of content, and YouTube just punished us for it. So continue.
Continue what? No,
I don't know. I thought you were still ranting, but you had to pause to light your cigarette with an electric lighter and a really long stick before the cigarette, right? Is that what you just did? Did you go full Joan Collins on me on that one?
No, I'm got my tits out. Yeah. No. I can't remember what I was saying now. He's thrown me off. He's thrown me off my skateboard. What was I talking about? Just the simple fact is, other channels, done this sort of thing where, they'll set up separate channel for their, just like they'll do their their normal show, and then they'll have another one that they just do whingy whiny stuff. It's the after dark or whatever they want to call it. So many channels do this. I mean, how many channels has Linus's team got? Shitloads.
13, and I have them all on.
Split them all off into their little separate categories.
That's the last thing I want to see is short Linus 13 times in my recommended feed, right?
But that's how it's done. Just the simple fact that we did it we decided to do it, in one go. People just so confused.
Yeah. But the most important is the Shills at the Shills 42 show, because as we try to turn that into an uploaded video, we could really use the help with the views and stuff. So head over when you go to bed, hit the playlist and just let it run. It would really help, right? We got to get that built up. So let's head over to Discord. Remember, put your shit back in your pants and turn on your camera, right? We'll hang out for a bit.
Okay then.
Don't put your titties away. We encourage that. Just put your shit in your pants, right?
Yeah, my titties are out.
They're touching your knees. Good night, everybody.
Good night, stay shitty, you bastards.
Let's hit the real credits. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1.
3, sir. 3, sir. 5.
Five is right out.